Make your characters grow fast with these 5 solutions and unlock more content in Genshin Impact. The more you advance in the game, the more you will start to realize that things are getting increasingly expensive. Naturally, you will acquire a lot of more during your explorations and many other activities, but once you start working on more than one character, you'll need to get creative. The first way you can squeeze extra mora out of your adventures would be by selling off your 1 and 2 star artifacts, but only after you get past adventure rank 30. You can go to your inventory and at the artifacts section, click on the trash bin icon and select all the artifacts you want to sell off. This is an aggressive method of gaining mora, but it comes with another benefit. When you're leveling your artifacts, you might have noticed that sometimes you get 2 or even 5 times the amount of experience points randomly, and this can be a huge setback if you're using lower tier artifacts for upgrading, since the boost could have been bigger if 3-star artifacts were used instead. So if you're past rank 30 and you want to get mora and maybe even lucky with random experience boosts, selling off your lower tier artifacts can come a long way. Finally, another good way to make mora would be by visiting areas of the map that include lakes or other water sources. You should be able to find floating junk boxes that contain sigils, which you can then exchange at the Souvenir Shop for extra mora. Of course, only do this exchange once you've acquired all the other items from the shop. The never-ending problem of never having enough original resin keeps many of us awake at night. And because we only get a limited amount of resin each day, we need to figure out a smart way to work with our daily allowance. Once you have identified characters you want to grow, take notice of what materials they need for their talents, weapons, and ascension. The most important thing you need to keep in mind is when do these materials become available during the week. The next part would be to check what materials you need to level your talents and if you have plenty of them available. Talents give one of the biggest boosts to your character's growth, so make this your first priority when a domain with your character's talent level up materials becomes available. Next on the list would be weapon ascension materials, which are actually even more rare than talent materials since they don't even drop from chests. Finally, use any of the remaining resin for world bosses. To keep it short, put highest emphasis on farming talent materials, then weapons, and then finally world bosses, followed by anything else you might consider important, like leyline deposits. Many of us become overwhelmed from the amount of artifacts we can choose from, so picking the right ones can become crucial at saving resources and growing your characters faster. The first and most safest investment you can always make is the feather artifact, since it provides attack that gives most benefit, especially once it's maxed out on your main damage dealer or even support characters. Second easy choice would be the flower artifact, which gives more survivability, which is especially relevant in places like the Spiral Abyss. These two should provide enough to kickstart your character's growth, no matter if you fulfill any of the set bonuses or not. If you do aim for bonuses, you can invest into Instructor set for anyone who's used for creating reactions, or Exile set if you have characters who have very good elemental bursts so that you can activate them more often. Finally, for damage dealers, you will have plenty of Berserker set pieces available, which can then be further improved once you start acquiring Gladiator set from world bosses. Also, keep in mind that farming for artifact sets from domains is very inefficient since it won't provide any other benefits to grow your characters or weapons. Just use anything that's available from your adventures and leave the artifact farming once you're past rank 35 or even 40. If you only have limited amount of time, make sure to identify which monster materials you need for your talents, ascension, and weapons. This is far more easier to do since all monsters reset daily and you can hunt them down from your adventure book. You will have less problems to think about if you can manage to clear all the monsters that you specifically need for upgrading. Keep in mind, if you're still lacking materials, you can go to the in-game shop and purchase more of them with your Stardust, but only do this once you have acquired all the Acquaint Fates. But don't even bother spending Star Glitter because it's far too valuable to be wasted and instead should be saved up for the 4-star weapons or characters. The last solution is going to help you tie all the loose ends you have. Every Sunday, all domains become available for weapons and talent materials. This is the best day to check out and see what you're missing from getting those upgrades done. One important thing to note, even if you're a free-to-play player, spending at least once for Resin Refresh can give you a lot of options to work with, especially if you have a character or weapon that's one material away from getting ascended. This way, you can avoid from waiting until any of the domains become available again. To summarize, character character growth will always be limited by Mora, and you can get an extra amount of it like checking for floating junk boxes or selling off low tier artifacts. To optimize growth, always spend resin on talent and weapon domains first, and since you get a lot of artifacts already, invest into feather and flower first, then work with the sets you have. You should also, at the minimum, farm elite monsters for your specific characters, and if you ever have any loose ends, you can rely on Sunday every week to get any missing materials. Enjoyed the video? Make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and gently press the like button. And make sure to check out our other Genshin Impact guides or visit us at gachagamer.com. Thank you for watching us.